Hey guys, it's Christina. Welcome to my channel. Today I am excited to be doing a book review for chapter 1 through chapter 12 in the Dorothy Must Die book. So if you would like to see my review on the book so far, stay tuned. So if you haven't seen my previous video, I am joined with the Goodreads group, which is called Dorothy Must Die Readalong, and for every 12 chapters we'll be doing a review through the Goodreads. So I thought that why not do a video review for every 12 chapters that I read. So that's what I'll be doing for a while, and I don't have that physical book. I am using my Audible account, and how I figured out that I'm gonna do this is for every 12 chapters. My dog is making so much noise today. Can you be quiet? Say no. No. I don't know how to be quiet. So I am joined with the Audible account, which is linked through my Amazon. And I have to say that I really like it. I feel like I'm reading the book a lot quicker because I'm actually on chapter 14 right now. And I know that if I actually had the book, I probably wouldn't be as far along as I am right now due to outside factors. But it's so nice because all I have to do is just go on my little app that's on my iPhone, the Audible app, and just listen to someone read me the book, and I don't have to physically sit down to read the book. I can be driving, I can be eating, just cleaning my room up, and it's just a lot easier for me. I don't know if I'll be using Audible after I, finish this book, but I have to say it's really nice, and it's a really nice change because I am not into ebooks, so the Audible account is really nice. So yeah, and if you, like I said, if you want to join the group, I will leave the links in the description bar down below, and I'll also leave a link to the Amazon page where you can get the Audible book for 30-day free trial. I don't know if that's still happening, but if it is, I'll go ahead and link that down below, and go ahead and try it. It's free, you don't have to pay anything, and you are able to partake in this read along, which is awesome. On to my review. I absolutely love this book, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna like this book a lot better than The Wizard of Oz. So in the beginning we get introduced to this girl named Amy, who is an outcast from Kansas, and throughout her life she hasn't really had that many friends, and she hasn't had a lot of people to stand by her, especially when she's being bullied by Madison Pendleton. Madison Pendleton is the popular girl who has it all and who feels like everyone who doesn't reach up to her superiority is beneath her. I hate girls like that. But basically she's been making Amy's life a living hell since kindergarten. She told everyone to not come to her birthday party, and she would call her Salvation Amy just because of the way that she dressed and stuff. And a little bit of irony, she ends up pregnant in high school. How do you even bully someone? You are a teen mom, come on now. So anyway, that's where the story kind of takes off. Something happens, there's a conflict between Madison and Amy where basically Madison ends up punching Amy. Madison, once one of the school council people or the principal comes and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and she blames Amy, saying, she tried to hurt me and my baby, and so Amy gets sent home. And then we get kind of introduced to her mother, who is abusing pain pills because she got into an accident a couple of years ago. So she's been basically home all the time, and Amy has been taking care of her for a while, and she hasn't really been the mother figure that Amy had in the very beginning, initially in the story. So, with Madison making her life a living hell and her mom not really being a mom, she's going through a lot right now. And I can relate to Amy on so many different levels. You have all these different factors going on in your life, and it's you just want to get away, and that's her dream, is just to get away from Kansas and be away from everything, because she really doesn't have anyone in Kansas. She doesn't have a reason to stay in Kansas. So unbeknownst to her, the tornado comes down and she gets swooped away up to Oz. And a little thing that irritated me, her mom knew that the tornado was coming and she was just like, fend for yourself. What kind of mom does that? So that's my little tidbit on her mom. Her mom and Madison makes me mad, but I digress. The trailer gets lifted off into Oz and she ends up meeting this guy named Pete, who is a gorgeous specimen. And Pete's basically saying, you know, you remind me so much of Dorothy, but I can tell that you're not like her. Just be careful and don't make the same mistakes that she made. And I think that's like the very beginning of like the story, just like him saying that, because it's like, what's going on in Oz and what does he mean, don't make the same mistakes as Dorothy? And then she gets introduced to a munchkin named Indigo, who isn't like the typical munchkin that you've known from the Wizard of Oz. She's like this rebel, gothic, kind of emo munchkin, which I really appreciate because it's a little bit different, a little bit of a different story. And then we also get introduced to the Tin Woodman, who is nothing like the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz. He's like this evil, you know, killer. Then we get introduced to Glinda, the Good Witch. Well, supposedly she's supposed to be the Good Witch, but she's evil. Like, she basically torments all the munchkins, like, on a daily basis. She's like kind of a slave master in a sense. Then we also get introduced to Mombi, who I was really excited to see in this book because I didn't know if the author was going to reach back into the second book, which is The Return of Oz. And if you've seen one of my other videos, I actually did a review on that and I really love the book. So Mombi is a character, she's a witch too, but in The Return to Oz she was an evil character, but now in this book she is a good character. We also get introduced to Dorothy, which I'll talk about her in a second, but the basis of this story is that everything in Oz has been turned around. So everybody who used to be an evil character is now a good character, and everyone who's a good character is an evil character. Like, you know, you have the Tin Woodman, who was a good character. Now he's evil. You have Glinda the Good Witch, who was a good character. Now she's an evil witch. We get introduced to a flying monkey who had his wings ripped off. You know, he's actually a pretty good character, even though he leaves Dorothy in a really sticky situation, but he's a good character as well. So I love the dynamics of this book because it's like, I think the underlying message is that not everyone who is good, and not everyone who we deem as evil is evil. We all have like two different parts, and it kind of reminds me of something my teacher said a while back, I think in like high school or middle school. She said, you know, we get so used to labeling people good or bad when we all have like good and bad traits. Like, no one is all good and no one is all bad. So I kind of love that underlying theme in this book, and I think that's why I love this so much more than Oz, because it's like Dorothy was this, you know, this really nice, sweet girl who could do no wrong, and then you have Elphaba, which is the Wicked Witch of the West, and, you know, yeah, she's evil, but what made her evil? You know, like, no one knows her backstory. Well, if you've seen Wicked, you know her backstory, and you know, if you've seen her backstory, then you know why she became evil. We're not all good, and we're not all bad, you know, so I love that aspect of the book. And then we get introduced to Dorothy close to the end of chapter 12, and the way that they describe her is just, they say that her checkered outfit is like, it's really short and it's kind of like distorted in a sense, and she has like high heels, and she has like lavish hair, and she kind of looks like a pinup girl, I guess. Like, I don't know, it's so weird because I'm so used to seeing Dorothy in like the little childlike manner. It's the way they describe her, and she's just evil. She's like, people once saw me as like Dorothy, you know, that's the good little girl, but, you know, like, there can only be one Dorothy. And she gets really mad when she realizes that Amy came from Kansas, and she's like, there can only be one Dorothy, there cannot be any more. Like, you're gonna have to be put on trial, and on trial you're basically gonna get killed. So I'm everywhere with this review, but like, I don't know, I'm speaking from the noggin up here. So yeah, I really love this book, and I am really excited to see where this story goes. One thing that I have to say that I hope this book doesn't lean towards is like a romance novel, because I see that Amy is kind of infatuated with Pete, even though he keeps disappearing in the story. Like, he comes and he goes. It's like, where are you going? Where are you going? I'm really hoping that this becomes more of an empowerment book than it does a romance. I mean, yeah, you can have that romance aspect, but you can do it like the Hunger Games. Like, you know, there was that romance aspect, but Katniss was kind of like a badass. So I really love the direction that it's going so far, and I love this different perspective, and I cannot wait to read the next 12 chapters to see what they entail. So yeah, if you have read this book, or if you are currently reading this book for the read-along, or if you're just reading it just to read it, leave comments down below telling me how you feel about it. Please don't spoil it for me, because I don't want to know what happens, but, you know, just kind of give a general discussion of how you know, feel about it. And yeah, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.